I can't do that. I'll be starting all over again. I'm too old to start over. Let me tell you, I hear that a lot. And honestly, I think it's totally wrong. Because if I believed that, trust me, I wouldn't have done anything over my last, I don't know, 20 years. Because it's not easy to actually do something that feels like you're starting over. However, I'm here to tell you, you're not starting over, right? Even though, guess what? If you decide to quit your job, right, and move to another location, or in fitness, if you haven't worked out for a few years and then all of a sudden you're jumping back into it, is it starting over? I'm going to tell you that it's not. And this is, and this is why. Sorry about the sun glare behind me. I just walked my wife to the train station this morning so she can take the train into work. And I'm just walking back home. It's a lovely morning. However, the sun is right behind my back, so the filming is gonna be glary, and I'm trying to find pockets where there's shade. So I'm gonna cross the street here, a little bit of jaywalking. Hopefully I don't smash my cars. But anyways, as I'm telling you, or as I've been talking, and as I am talking right now, since I'm out walking this morning, how about I suggest you, if you are watching and sitting down, just get up and do a little bit of a march, right? While I'm walking and talking to you through this. So then you're actually doing a little bit something active too. So get up, do a few minutes, march on the spot. It feels like you're starting over. You're actually not. And this is what I mean, because you're actually not starting from scratch. You have all this experience, right? Everything that you've learned and now know, it's part of you, and it's part of what you're gonna take with you on your next chapter, right? So if you haven't been following me over the last year, my family and I have been traveling and living abroad. And now we relocated from the east coast of Canada to the west coast. So I'm in BC instead of Ontario. And let me tell you, a lot of people have told me in the past, or a lot of people have mentioned to me, very kindly, that they could never do it because they could never start over. And I'm here to tell you, I don't feel like I'm starting over. I feel like I'm taking all the knowledge that I've had with me, and now I'm just using it in a different way, because everything that I've learned from where I was, traveling abroad, taking the kids out of school, everything that I learned before then, I used during our travel. All the skills of coaching clients, instructing group classes, everything in my past, being in charge of a group of trainers, right? Teaching them everything. Actually, there's a fire truck here, so it's a little loud. I'm gonna pause it for a sec so so your ears don't blow out. Whoa, that was loud. As I was saying, right, all the skills that I have acquired through talking to people and supervising trainers and other employees, to instructing classes and coaching my own clients, I've used all those skills to actually instruct and teach our kids while we actually were traveling and living abroad, right? And everything that I've known through fitness and how to stay fit anywhere, I used on our journey when we were traveling and living abroad. Oh, there's ambulances and everything, so it must be very, I don't know what's going on over there, but getting back to it, hopefully that you did do some marching, but now guess what? Since you're still up, or if you haven't done anything, do a few arm circles. All that is, standing straight in front of you and bringing arms backwards for about 20 seconds, and then bring arms forward about 20 seconds, right? So this is the way I like to do some of these exercises. I just find time to fit them in as I'm moving about. But as I was saying, right, like, you're not starting over when you have skills and experience. So And I know there's a lot of fear that goes into it because it's not easy to like sell everything, right, that you've accumulated, especially if you're a little bit older and you have a house and a family that you have to be responsible for. And it's all those fears and all those things that maybe inside our heads that we've kind of created these stories. And I get it. For a long time, I thought the same way, right? I have a house, I've got cars, I've got 2 kids in school, you know, like why would I take them out of school and try to do everything on our own and start over again? But I gotta tell you, it's not as bad as you, I think, make it in your head to believe that it, you know, like to scare yourself. And I get it, right? Everything that you've accumulated, everything like that you've worked towards, all the time, money that you've invested into it, right? And if you make a huge, drastic change, it just feels like you've given up or maybe you've failed, right? Because any big change, especially a life altering change, right? Like that's a huge decision to make. And sometimes the fear of all the things like that you've done before means nothing if it feels like you're starting over. And I totally understand that, right? I totally understand. It's the same thing with fitness, right? Where you've spent all this time and energy into getting your health ready and investing the time and investing the sweat just to get yourself to a certain point, right? Maybe you're like really fit in your 20s and 30s, and then all of a sudden 40s, you let yourself go. And it's just like thinking about, okay, now trying to get back into shape again. It's such a daunting task, right? But I'm telling you, it's not that bad. And this is coming from real life experience. And that's because you didn't fail, right? You didn't start over. You're still doing many of the things that you know how to do. So you're actually basically accelerating your progress in a short period of time. Plus, now you're going to do it in a different way because you know from experience and the skills that you've acquired, you know what not to waste your time on, and you know exactly what you can do to actually get the results that you want, right? So that's like in fitness, that's in jobs, that's in life, in relationships, everything. So every time when you think about, hey, I don't want to start over because of some sort of fear, let me tell you, if you don't take the leap sometimes, you're going to be stuck in this rut. And the results that you want are never going to come because you haven't given yourself permission to actually take the leap and start again. So whether you're 20, 30, 40, or 50, you know, just because you're making a huge change in your life, don't think of it as starting over. Think of it as just a new chapter, and you're taking all the other chapters that you've experienced, right, with you. So this next chapter in your life is going to be amazing, and you're going to start off in a position of knowledge where things are going to be a lot easier to deal with. If you're enjoying these talks and you like to kind of just move around as I'm talking and me helping you kind of prompt you to do some kind of movements, subscribe to my channel. And now we're at the end of our walk, but hopefully you've done some of the movements or just something, right? Just to kind of move around as I've been talking, because anytime you can fit in a little bit of movements, it's going to be beneficial. And this is what I've learned through my experience of 20 years of coaching many clients. Thanks for coming on this walk with me this morning. Can't wait to see you next week.